You don't actually start over because you failed. You start over because something inside you suddenly feels wrong. The plan was working. You were consistent. And then, quietly, you lost connection to it. So you reset everything. New goals. New version of you. But a few months later, it happens again. And you're left wondering. Why can't you just stick to one life? Studio microphone part 2, problem start. It doesn't look dramatic from the outside. You're not lazy. You're not doing nothing. In fact, you start strong. You organize your life. You feel clear. For a while, everything works. You build momentum. You feel like you're finally becoming that person. But then something shifts. Not in your routine, but in your feeling. Studio microphone part 3, emotional shift. The same actions suddenly feel heavy. The same goals feel distant. Why am I even doing this? Is this really me? And that doubt doesn't go away. It slowly disconnects you from your own life. So instead of forcing it, you let it go, and you begin again. New system. New direction. Because starting over feels easier than continuing something that no longer feels like you. And the real problem isn't inconsistency. It's something deeper. Your identity keeps shifting, faster than your life can keep up. But this doesn't mean something is wrong with you. This pattern is not random. It's adaptive. Your brain is trying to protect you from committing to something that might not be you. So instead of staying, you keep adjusting. Again and again. At some point, stability didn't feel safe. Maybe your environment kept changing. Maybe expectations kept shifting. So your brain learned. Don't fully attach. Stay flexible. Stay ready to change. And now, that same pattern is still running. Your brain is always asking one question. Who am I right now? And it doesn't answer logically, it answers emotionally. So when your feelings change, your identity feels like it changed too. When motivation drops, it doesn't feel temporary. It feels like proof. This isn't me anymore. That's why you don't slow down, you restart. Your identity isn't solid. It's like wet clay. Every emotion reshapes it. So instead of building something stable, you keep starting over, again and again. There's something else happening. Your brain loves new beginnings. Because novelty creates dopamine. Starting over feels exciting, clear, hopeful, but staying consistent feels quiet and heavy. So when that feeling disappears, you assume the path is wrong. But what if it's not? What if it's just a phase? You were never taught to stay through. So the goal is not to force consistency. It's to understand your pattern and work with it. First, separate feeling from identity. Just because something feels wrong doesn't mean it is wrong. Pause. Let the feeling pass before making decisions. Second, build identity anchors. Small actions you do no matter what. Not goals. Just consistent behaviors. They keep your identity stable, even when your emotions aren't. Third, expect the drop. Motivation will fade. That's not failure. That's part of the process. If you expect it, you won't run from it. Fourth, delay big resets. When you feel like quitting everything, wait. Give it time. Most of those feelings fade if you don't act instantly. And finally, redefine progress. Not by how aligned you feel, but by whether you keep showing up. Consistency builds identity, not emotion. This is the loop. Feel doubt, restart. Again and again. But you can break it by staying when you usually leave. Your life doesn't need another reset. It needs continuity. Even when it feels uncomfortable. Because that's where real identity forms. You don't need a new version of yourself. You just need to stay with the one you've already started becoming. So next time you feel like restarting, pause. Because this time, it might not be the end. It might be the moment you finally stay.